Uh, Good morning, guys. Hope everybody's doing great today. Good Saturday morning. Finally, we got some relief from this hot weather. This morning has been actually been beautiful. I even have the doors open and no air going, so I'm happy with that. Well, today, guys, I'm going to continue on a topic that I've been talking about for the last few days about muscle building hormones. And I'm going to focus today's talk on a certain hormone that needs to be elevated naturally in order for seniors to um, slow premature aging and actually add more lean muscle. So, today's topic is the power of your own natural, I'm saying natural, growth hormones for seniors. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the growth hormone itself and how important it is for us seniors to be able to get into that environment. And all you need to do really is to change the type of foods you're eating, and of course you got to do time restricted eating as well to put you in that environment. But I'm going to be pointing my finger at some of you seniors out there because I'm seeing a lot of advertisements out there about a lot of over-the-counter GH enhancing supplements. And I'm also starting to see some of these health professionals or doctors posting information about doing synthetic testosterone injections. And so what I want you guys to understand here, especially the seniors out there, and it really should be for everyone, is that you guys got to be aware of what these over-the-counter growth hormone supplements enhancers will do to your own production, your own natural production of growth hormones and your own natural productions of testosterone. And especially if you start dabbling with the synthetic growth hormone injections and the synthetic testosterone injections, because what you're doing, guys, is you're messing up the physiology of the body itself and how it works when it comes to producing your own growth hormones naturally and producing your own testosterone naturally, and also it's affecting your organs over time if you continually do it over and over and over again. And I'm sure some of you guys might be thinking, well, what gives you the right to even talk about this? How do you know about the side effects of these, what I call them synthetic chemically induced testosterone, synthetic chemically induced growth hormones through injections? And then on top of that, taking the over-the-counter growth hormones that you're seeing advertised all over the TV now. And the body's just, guys, you got to know the body's not stupid. It really isn't. It knows when you're putting something in it and it's not good for it. And at first you might see some results, but after time your body is going to figure out a way to fight it. And if it's not able to fight it, then you are going to have some kind of major medical issue over time that these enhancers are going to affect your major organs. How do I know this? Well, I've experienced it. Back in my early 20s, when I was a power lifter, for us to compete against the other guys, we had to do steroids, multiple types, different ones. And we were under a doctor's care. Every 30 days he checked our blood and stuff. And that wasn't illegal back then. That was just the normal thing to do. And of course, there wasn't a whole lot of information out there on the side effects of these chemically induced steroids or growth hormones or testosterone boosters. There just wasn't enough information out there yet. And you guys know I've talked about this many times. All of our bodies are not the same. Certain things, certain foods affect our bodies differently. Well, either it was unfortunately or fortunately, whatever one makes more sense, I created side effects very early in my usage of steroids. A matter of fact, a couple of us decided that, and this is back in the mid 70s, I think, a couple of us decided that more was better. And so we kind of veered away from the doctor, and we started stacking different types of anabolic steroids in order to get an advantage over our counterparts that we were competing against. And so what we did was we stacked them all. And unfortunately, I myself developed side effects very soon in that stage. Maybe it was fortunate that it happened as soon as it did for me. And I went into a coma for 3 days, and all my major organs were shutting down, and the doctors were not able to slow this down. And so as they were communicating with my wife back and forth, it got to a point where they weren't sure they could bring me back. And fortunately, I guess God wasn't ready for me, and I woke up and just started healing. So I do know a little bit about the side effects of what I like to call synthetic chemically induced. So those of you that are doing the synthetic chemically induced injections for boosters to your testosterone or to your growth hormones, you need to be aware that you are going to have some sort of side effects down the line if you continually do it for long term. But the good news is you don't have to do this stuff as a senior if you're looking to slow premature aging, or if you're looking to add lean muscle, because you already have a mechanism eternally that is designed to increase and produce more growth hormones for a longer period of time. Actually, you seniors can actually peak your growth hormones throughout the whole day instead of only twice a day. Okay, because it's natural for us seniors out there. Our hormones are going to drop anyway, naturally. But if you give yourself the right tools, naturally, I'm talking natural all the way. And so if you give yourself the right tools to activate your own internal mechanism that is designed to spike your growth hormones, and also by doing it naturally, I'm mainly talking about growth hormones because that's what's going to affect everything else as far as what muscle building hormones that you have. Once you get those up, testosterone also goes up automatically. So, and you're also, well, first of all, you have to give yourself the right tools. And science has been telling us since I saw research done back in 1989 of a athletic nutritional case study by a team of researchers who were involved in sports medicine back in 1989 or 88 actually, where they did research on naturally boosting growth hormones in athletes by just changing the types of food they were eating and also combining it with intermittent fasting and, of course, extended fasting also. That was back in 1988. Isn't that crazy? So anyway, the secret to slow premature aging and to add lean muscle for seniors is It's simple. All you got to do is learn how to activate your own growth hormones naturally with the right tools. Those of you that are using synthetic hormones, injections, or any other over-the-counter GH growth hormone enhancers, supplements, beware of the long-term side effects or use of those, because there will be side effects. And what's going to happen is you're actually shutting off, by you using these synthetic, chemically induced growth hormone injections and testosterone injections and the over-the-counter supplements, enhancers, is you're shutting down, you're actually stopping your own internal mechanism, which is designed to produce growth hormones and testosterone through the food you eat and then time restriction. You're shutting it down. So the body is going to say, well, you know what? You've been doing this for a long time. So let's go ahead and permanently shut down that mechanism that naturally produces growth hormones even at a senior age. That is what's going to happen. And if that internal mechanism is shut down for a long period of time, most likely, most of you won't be able to reverse it, and now you've got some major issues. We were counseling a young man in the gym who were actually on these growth hormones and a couple of other ones, and we were counseling him and explaining about how his own testosterone mechanism will shut down if he doesn't quit doing them. And we didn't see him for a long time. And about 6 months later, we saw him in the gym again, and of course he looked a lot smaller. I mean, he was still in good shape for a young man, but he looked a lot smaller. And he came up to us and said, I just want to thank you guys for telling me about what I shouldn't be doing. He says, because what you told me exactly happened to me, and I end up getting some major side effects. What happened was his own internal mechanism that was designed to produce growth hormones and testosterone completely shut itself down. The doctors told him that it was shut down. What are you doing? What's causing this? And of course, it would all boil down to those synthetic enhancers that he was injecting into his body. Now, he's a believer, and he loves God, and he is completely clean now, and he's absolutely unbelievable, great person. And I'm telling you, he's working out, and he still has a phenomenal physique. And that's what it's all about, doing it in a healthy way. And so that's your warning for now. But also the good news is, like I said, is going to be your body can naturally produce its own natural growth hormones. That's what we're talking about today, and that's what we want to talk about, because that's probably the most important one for right now for us as seniors, is getting that growth hormone up consistently throughout the day, because the other muscle building hormones will happen too. Guys, these enhancers or these supplements or these injections, they're not going to help you produce new muscle stem cells. Matter of fact, you won't be able to make them. You got to have new muscle stem cells in order to build more lean muscle. Doesn't that make sense? And so, and science has been saying this for a long time. And so, why not just do it with the natural way of doing it and do it right, and it's much, much more healthier. So I'm going to give you something here real quick. So I just talked about muscle stem cells. So let's see what science has to say about this. Now, I'm sure you guys have heard of the University of Southern California, right? USC, for those of you that may not know it by the University of California. Well, recently, maybe a few years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, USC they did some research. And in the USC News, they printed what they developed or what they learned about intermittent fasting. They also did some research on extended fastings up to 72 hours. I'm going to read you their findings. So this is what they actually wrote in their news magazine on their research on intermittent fasting and extended fastings. And this is all about producing more new muscle stem cells, not only to build lean muscle, but to boost and strengthen the immune system as well. So this is what they published. A study published in the cell stem cell medical research shows that cycles of prolonged fasting not only protect against immune system damage, a major side effect, which is a major side effect of chemotherapy. So this study was really cool because they were using patients that were on chemo. So this makes it even more powerful. So they were saying that it protects against immune damage, a major side effect of chemotherapy. And we know, I mean, most of you that know somebody that has cancer that's doing chemo, hopefully the oncologist told them that it's going to damage their immune system, which could cause other issues, which the cancer itself may not kill them. It could be an issue because the immune system is so depressed, but also induced immune system regeneration, shifting stem cells from a dormant state to a state of self-renewal. You get it, guys? It's pretty powerful. This is SC. In both human clinical trials involving patients receiving chemotherapy, long periods of not eating significantly lowered white blood cell counts in mice and humans. Fasting cycles then flipped a regenerative switch, changing the signaling pathways of homeostatic stem cells, which are responsible for the generation of blood and immune system. The research showed we could not predict that prolonged fasting would have such a remarkable effect in promoting new stem cells based regeneration system. That's what they wrote. The study has major implications for healthier aging, in which immune system decline contributes to increased diseases for older aged people, by outlining how prolonged fasting cycles, periods of no foods for 2 to 4 days at a time over a course of 6 months, kill older and damaged immune system and generates new ones. So the prolonged fasting, guys, is saying that it gets rid of or detoxes the old dead immune system cells and activates and regenerates brand new ones. The research has also implications of chemotherapy tolerance for those with wide range of immune system deficiencies, including autoimmunity disorders. Powerful, powerful research, guys. Now, something else about the growth hormones. Remember I said your body can produce its own natural growth hormones if you put it in the right environment. Well, there was a research done in 1992. 1992, how many years ago was that? It was done by the Journal of Clinical and Metabolism, which the abbreviation is JCEM. And it's all about growth hormones. Growth hormones in a 2-day extended fast had a 5-fold increase in men and women when it comes to producing growth hormones. So they found that a 2-day extended fast, which means 48 hours? A 48-hour fast increased. their growth hormones fivefold. This is their natural growth hormones, not synthetic ones, not something you're not replacing your growth hormones with a chemical. Now, this is saying the body is able to produce itself, and this is what I'm talking about. And so that was done in 1992. Here's another one. The Journal of Clinical Investigation. Fasting enhances growth hormone secretion and amplifies the complex of growth hormone secretion in men and women. Men, up to 2,000 times higher. Women, up to 1,300 times higher. 1988, that one was done. Here's another one. 1989. This is mainly for the men. That the pituitary gland and their testes, when they did research on fasting, they found that the hormone increase in the pituitary gland and in the testes were elevated, and the increased elevation of the hormones, which will be the muscle building hormones, was the production of those hormones was 180%. This research was done in 1989. How many of you guys have heard about these researches out there? Not very many, because I don't see very many people talking about it on social media on how to slow premature aging or how to elevate your own natural growth hormones. I don't see much talk about that. But yet, the research has been all the way back since 1988. In 2017, the University of Boston researchers came up with the information or the research on lifespan and premature aging. This is the research, and this is what they came up with. Intermittent fasting helps to increase lifespan and helps to slow premature aging by elevating certain hormones such as your growth hormones and your testosterone. So basically, you're going to have to do intermittent fasting and do some of the extended fastings every so often if you want to naturally boost your growth hormones and also slow premature aging. Now, what's the byproduct of all this? What's the byproduct of intermittent fasting? The byproduct is you're going to lose what? You're going to lose your body fat. That's exactly what you're trying to do, right? Exactly. I'm writing a book now. It's called The Advantage of Intermittent Fasting, and I'm almost done with it. I'm about halfway through it, and it's going to answer all the people's questions out there about the advantage of intermittent fasting and why it works so well and why it's not a fad diet and how simple it is to introduce it to your life. Intermittent fasting, guys, isn't going to cost you a penny to do, but these injections, if I remember right, I don't know, I think it was 10 years ago or 15 years ago, I met somebody that I was a personal trainer for a celebrity, and he was taken, I don't know, it seems like the celebrities out there are always looking for a quick fix to stay young. And so he was taking growth hormones injections every week. And I tell you what, it actually worked. He was super strong for his age and didn't look his age. So maybe they were working. I don't know if he still is today. But back then, I think he was paying like $150 or $250 a shot for those things. And I think he was doing it every single week. So us average people, obviously we can't afford that. But guess what? We don't need to, because intermittent fasting is free. Simple. Now, of course, you guys know that Emily and I eat, all of our food is mainly organic, and all of our meat is mainly grass-fed, and all of our eggs are mainly pasture-raised, and so forth. And yes, it's expensive. But guess what? Intermittent fasting is free, and if you're doing intermittent fasting, then you're buying what? Less food. So we can afford to eat good, right? Especially now. I mean, this is Saturday. Normally I do a 20-hour fast today. I'm drinking black coffee. This is not my fat coffee because I don't want to break my fast. But we mainly do a 20-hour fast, which means I'll break my fast at 2. But today, because of time, and we can't work out until about 1 o'clock, I'm going to work out at 19 hours during my fasting. And I'm sure some of you guys are freaking out going, there's no way I can do that. Well, because we are going to work out so deep in our fast, 19 hours, which my growth hormones are already elevated because I've been fasting for almost 20 hours. It also means that my other muscle building hormones are elevated. Then we're going to go exercise, and we're going to actually increase hormones that are going to help us get us through our workout in such a deep state of our fasting. And of course, my cortisol will be jacked up. But there's 2 types of cortisols. There's the good and the bad, and we're going to have the good. But the difference is in how I'm going to protect myself from catabolizing my muscle because of our workout training in so deep if the body needs it. Because the body doesn't, it's pretty smart. It's not going to go after your muscle. No, the muscle catabolizing is the last thing it does if there's nothing else left. Well, I got plenty of stored glycogen in my muscle. So the body is going to take that glycogen, and the environment is known as glucose neugenesis. I don't know if you guys know what that means. That means I have plenty of stored glucose in my muscles, and if I need more glucose because I'm running low, because my brain needs it, it's going to take the glycogen in my muscle, convert it into glucose, and then distribute it out to the organs and the brain when needed. So I've always got some glucose hiding around. There's plenty of it. So I'm not going to have to worry about any catabolizing. And that's why I also have plenty of energy, even though I'm working out deep in my fasting. And we worked out at 48 hours fasting and had no issues. I had plenty of energy because your body is not stupid. It knows. Like I said, I've told you many times, your ancestors back in the days, they hunted for their food, and sometimes they go 2 or 3 days before they even found food. And if they had to chase the food, where'd the energy come from? Well, the book I'm going to publish on Amazon Book will explain all that also. Okay, guys? So, guys, basically, intermittent fasting is free. It's very simple to do. You just have to be shown how to do it right. And that's why Emily and I have our online personal coaching courses, packages. If you want to know more about that, just email me at bill@billmabrycoaching.com, and I'll send you the information so you can make your own decision on it. Or go to my Facebook group page, Fat Loss Made Easy. Join it. There's all kinds of information in there about it. Or go to my YouTube channel and subscribe to it. Just type in Bill Mabry and it'll pop up. So guys, that's our topic today. A little warning to you seniors out there who are trying to slow premature aging using chemicals. It'll work for a time, but over time you will develop some kind of a major medical issue. So why not do it right and healthy and be patient? And of course, it's going to take time to reverse or to slow premature aging. It's going to take time to add lean muscle, and it's going to take time for you to lose that body fat, because you first need to get those hormones balanced, especially the hormone that's causing you to stay fat or that's causing you to have the belly fat. You got to get that turkey under control. So that could take a little time. So give yourself some time. Big factor is you got to have the right meal plan. You got to have the right program that works for you when it comes to fasting. And you also have to have the right workout program that doesn't elevate your cortisol to a point where it's going to cause issues as well with your hormone that's designed to store fat. Okay? Well, guys, I hope you saw some value in this, and I will see you guys at the next video. You guys have a great day. Bye.